The new PTR changes are crazy. From Sims rework to the new social features, Blizzard has really given us a lot to love. Today we're going to be giving you guys some quick tips to getting the best use out of these features and what you should expect when they go live. My name is Nathan and this is Blizzard Guides. This is going to be a sort of pilot to a series I'd want to start. Ideally, I want to start doing some quick tips to the Overwatch world each week, that week. So if you guys enjoyed this, please let me know in the comments down below if you enjoyed it, or just leave a like and I'll be sure to hear you guys out. I'm going to give you guys 3 tips for playing Sim, and then some interesting things about the new role queue/LFG system, and then the new endorsement system. So with that said, let's get right into this list. At number 5, Symmetra's new primary fire is super good. If you really want to get a lot of value out of it, I'm going to recommend that you do a couple of things. Given the chance, you always need to be charging your ammo and damage capacity off of the enemy's shields. New Sim's shield break is by far one of the best in the game, so doing damage to shields that are within reach will allow you to mow down the enemy team with that sweet 200 DPS. Tanks are going to be a really good option for getting that charge up as well. However, you won't be charging your ammo, so don't focus on them too long. Once you get up to the second phase of your power delivery, you probably want to switch to start doing damage to squishies, since those extra 2 seconds on these squishies isn't going to necessarily be too difficult to get, but getting the first 2 up sure is. If you want to get a bit more help, always saving 1 turret on cooldown can help you finish off a squishy really quickly if you set it down when you're going for the kill, as well as slowing them down to aid with your tracking. And lastly, this one is PTR specific. It's definitely a bug, but I have heard from some people that if you click really quickly instead of continuously left clicking, you do significantly more damage. But me being the very good and lawful Overwatch player that I am, I definitely haven't used this trick at all, not even once. But seriously, it's probably going to get patched by the time this video goes up, but I still wanted to share the ridiculousness that is this sim bug. At number 4, some tips for maximizing your teleport value. The new teleporter is basically a stationary tracer blink for your team. You pretty much want to use it off of cooldown and always have it going towards the high ground. But there are a few really cool style tricks that you can use with your teleporter. One, you can teleport buildables. So if you put a turret down or a torp turret down, you can place your teleporter on top of it and it will go to the other side. This is really useful for teams that have lots of coordination. You can get a level 2 turret set up and then have it teleported on a flank behind the enemy team when your team decides to engage, to get some of that sweet crossfire that you normally wouldn't be able to for the low cost of 2 secondary abilities. Furthermore, you're able to teleport diva bombs, which leads to some really cool plays. Overall, this new teleporter is really powerful and a super useful rework of Sim's new kit that I actually do appreciate. The other changes I am admittedly a bit less excited for, but this is definitely one of those changes that should not be nerfed or altered anymore, as it definitely fits the Sim's core identity while also keeping pace with the game and providing a niche value that will be appreciated more wholly. At number 3, some tips for Sim's Ultimate. Sim's new ult is a bit difficult to use in the sense that a misplaced shield can really have no value, but a well-placed one can definitely win a fight. The best scenario to put a shield down is when your team has high ground advantage while also not being susceptible to flanks. If you place your shield barely in front of the high ground, the enemy is forced to take a risky position to deal with your team's onslaught. Another important thing to remember, and a big mistake that you can make if the enemy Sim plays her cards right, is that if you put a shield down while the enemy Sim is present, she can charge up her left click and also reload her gun, allowing her to get into the healing pocket and do insane amounts of damage. So if her ammo reloading goes live, you need to be careful with that shield when mirror simming. But the reverse is also true, so if you're on Sim and you want to charge your left click, feel free to suck up some nice charge from that giant 5000 HP shield. Now, at number 2, we're going to look at the endorsement system. I'm going to give you guys a rundown of how they work and what you should endorse and why you should care about them. The endorsements are basically a free way of showing your appreciation to another teammate. If your team member was really constructive and very positive, you can endorse him or her and give them a thanks. This will reward them later on and also increase their endorsement ranking, which will have a noticeable in-game effect. It is at no cost for you to endorse, so I strongly recommend that you use up all 3 endorsements each time that you finish a match. I think that we as a community should really be respectful of endorsements and use them honestly. So if you have a good shot caller on your team or somebody who's very positive and spreads the PMA, remember to endorse. You get some bonus XP from it if that matters to you, but either way, it's really no cost for you to quickly endorse somebody. It also try and strive to get high endorsement ratings. It will pay off in the end. And last but not least, at number 1, we're going to be talking about the social features. I would recommend that you turn enforce rules off. Even though role queue is good for the game, the current implementation is too rigid as you can't swap roles once you're in the game, even if everyone agrees with it. So for now, I recommend that you turn it off, but put some feedback in for Blizzard on the forums or any other platform. When you set up a new LFG, for comp specifically, you're going to want to put your rank in the title, as there is currently no way to set a SR preference, which is understandable on Blizzard's part. I recommend LFGing when you can. It is actually tons of fun, and you don't really have the same restrictions that you used to before with comp and other activities. The recommended setup that I've seen that's worked really well for me is doing 2 tanks and then 1 heal, 1 damage, and 2 flex. This will allow you to run all of the comps that you need to have while also properly attracting the right crowd. Also, doing 2 tanks and 2 heals with 1 DPS and 1 flex works really well. I do strongly recommend that you do set your settings to specific ones and turning force rolls off, so that way the people LFGing know what they're going to be getting into, while also still having the flexibility of switching to other roles should your team need to run something oddball like quad DPS and 2 supports or solo tank. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you guys thought about this structure and if you want to see more of this content weekly. I would love to do this more, but you guys come first, so please let me know. Also, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon down below to get notified every time this channel uploads, since YouTube is a bit weird currently, so getting the notifications if you really do enjoy our videos is a great way to help us out. Also, don't forget to leave a like I said earlier, if you enjoyed this video and you want to see this style of video more in the future. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Have a nice day. My name is Nathan and this was Blizzard Guides.